The Suez Crisis, a turning point in history, the pivotal moments that reshaped world politics. Presentation overview. Background of the Suez Crisis. We'll explore the history of the Suez Canal and the background of colonialism in Egypt, which are crucial to understanding the roots of the conflict. Key players and events. We'll delve into the key players and events that led to the Suez Crisis, including Gamal Abdel Nasser, Anthony Eden, canal nationalization, and international reactions. Aftermath and legacy. We'll examine the aftermath of the Suez Crisis, its impact on the world, and its legacy. Background of the crisis, the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal is a vital waterway that connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea, enabling trade between Europe and Asia. Colonialism and oppression. The history of the Suez Canal is intertwined with colonialism in Egypt, and it became a symbol of imperialism and oppression under British control. The Suez Canal. Construction of the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal was constructed in the late 19th century by the French and British with the support of the Egyptian government to provide a shorter sea route from Europe to Asia via the Red Sea. It was a major engineering feat of its time, involving the labor of thousands of workers. Control and operation of the canal. After the construction of the Suez Canal, it was operated under the control of the French and British, who profited immensely from it. This led to resentment among Egyptians, who saw it as a symbol of their subjugation to foreign powers. Colonialism in Egypt. History of British colonialism in Egypt. Egypt was a British colony from 1882 to 1952. This period of colonialism had a profound impact on Egypt's politics, culture, and society. Struggle for independence. The struggle for independence in Egypt began in the early 20th century and was marked by the rise of Arab nationalism. This movement led to the overthrow of the monarchy and the establishment of a republic. Suez Crisis. The Suez Crisis was a pivotal moment in Egypt's history and marked the end of British colonialism in the country. It was a political and military conflict between Egypt on one hand and Britain, France, and Israel on the other. Key players and events. Gamal Abdel Nasser. Gamal Abdel Nasser was the second president of Egypt and a key player in the Suez Crisis. He was a charismatic leader who played a pivotal role in the Arab world and was known for his nationalist policies. Anthony Eden. Anthony Eden was the British Prime Minister during the Suez Crisis and a key player in the events that led to the crisis. He was known for his hardline policies against Egypt and his desire to maintain British dominance in the region. Canal nationalization. The canal nationalization was a key event that led to the Suez Crisis. In 1956, Egypt nationalized the Suez Canal, which had been controlled by Britain and France. This move infuriated the Western powers and led to a military confrontation with Egypt. International reactions. International reactions to the Suez Crisis were varied and complex. The United States initially opposed the invasion of Egypt, while the Soviet Union supported it. The crisis had significant implications for the Cold War and the balance of power in the Middle East. Gamal Abdel Nasser. Nasser's rise to power. Gamal Abdel Nasser came to power through a coup in 1952 and went on to become one of the most influential leaders in the Arab world, committed to the cause of Arab nationalism and independence. Arab nationalism and independence. Nasser was a strong advocate of Arab nationalism and worked towards the goal of Arab independence, inspiring national movements across the region. Role in the Suez Crisis. Nasser played a key role in the Suez Crisis, a pivotal moment in the history of the Middle East, which saw the nationalization of the Suez Canal and the subsequent invasion by Israeli, British, and French forces. Anthony Eden. Anthony Eden's policies as the British Prime Minister contributed to the escalation of the Suez Crisis, with his staunch opposition to canal nationalization and his perceived threats to British interests in the region. The Canal Nationalization. The Canal Nationalization triggered the Suez Crisis, leading to a military confrontation that had far-reaching consequences for international relations and global politics. International reactions. United States. The United States responded to the Suez Crisis by condemning the actions of Israel, France, and the UK, and by threatening to withdraw its financial aid to these countries. This helped to pressure the UK and France into withdrawing their forces from Egypt. Soviet Union. The Soviet Union supported Egypt during the Suez Crisis and denounced the actions of Israel, France, and the UK. The crisis also highlighted the growing tension between the US and the Soviet Union, as both sides sought to assert their influence in the Middle East. United Nations. The United Nations responded to the Suez Crisis by creating a peacekeeping force to monitor the ceasefire between Egypt and Israel. This was the first time the UN had deployed a peacekeeping force, and it marked a significant development in international relations. The aftermath of the crisis, impact on Middle East. The Suez Crisis caused significant political upheaval in the Middle East, leading to increased tensions between Arab nations and Israel, and the rise of Arab nationalism. Global impact. The Suez Crisis had a significant impact on global politics, leading to a shift in power dynamics and increased tension between the superpowers of the Cold War. Legacy. The Suez Crisis had a lasting legacy on international relations, shaping the way countries approach foreign policy and diplomacy. The aftermath of the crisis, end of European domination. The Suez Crisis marked the end of European domination in the Middle East and paved the way for the rise of Arab nationalism. Global balance of power. The Suez Crisis had a significant impact on the global balance of power, with the decline of the British Empire and the emergence of the United States and the Soviet Union as global superpowers. Impact on the world. Rise of Arab nationalism. Suez Crisis contributed to the rise of Arab nationalism, which promoted the idea of Arab unity and independence, and was a reaction to European imperialism and colonialism. Emergence of Israel as a regional power. The Suez Crisis led to the emergence of Israel as a regional power and its increased influence in the Middle East. Decline of European imperialism. The Suez Crisis marked the decline of European imperialism as it exposed the weakness and vulnerability of European powers in the face of rising nationalism and anti-colonialism in the Third World. Legacy of the Suez Crisis, political and social consequences. The Suez Crisis had far-reaching political and social consequences, including the rise of Arab nationalism and an increased focus on regional conflicts in the Middle East. Economic impact. The Suez Crisis had a significant economic impact, disrupting global trade and creating instability in the region's oil markets. Conclusion. The Suez Crisis was a turning point in the history of the Middle East and the world. It was a complex and multifaceted event that involved a diverse array of actors and events. By exploring the background of the crisis, the key players and events, and the aftermath of the crisis, we can gain a deeper understanding of the complex forces that shape our world. Thank you.